So, today I'm going to be making a nice, well, I'd say mutton, but I couldn't get any mutton, so it's lamb. I'm going to be making a nice large lamb pie. And this should have 8 servings. This should be an 8-serving lamb pie. Because of the amount of lamb putting in. So this is, I think, will be a useful tip. So I'm going to put this up on a Twitter thread. I'll also link to it on my Tumblr as well. I think this will be a useful tip for people who work long hours and are wondering how to handle that. I work fairly long hours. I only work Monday to Thursday, but I work very long hours on that. I've got a fairly extended week, and I've got a long commute too. So this is, I think, a useful tip for people who are wondering how to manage time. And what it basically boils down to is you want to make a very big meal on Sunday and freeze some of that, put some of that in the fridge and eat that through the week. Okay, Twitter thread. Okay, so this is going to be the first of probably 2 or 3 videos where I talk about the ingredients that I'm going to use. Please excuse a bit of a mess. I've got some things drying in the background. So yesterday was laundry day, and it's just taking them longer to dry than I thought it would. Tried putting them outside, but wasn't quite sunny enough. Okay, so as a kitchen is a bit of a mess. Sorry about that. So for the vegetable portion, I've taken 1 white onion and blended it. You can do this manually with a knife if you've got the manual dexterity. I was never that great with knives. When I did medieval reenactment, it was probably my least favourite weapon to use. So I use an automatic blender. You can use a knife if you're more comfortable doing that. For stock, we've got this bouillon powder, nice and cheap, tastes perfectly fine. Dissolve this in some hot water, that's my stock. For some extra flavour, I've got some garlic cloves. I've peeled them, and I'm going to use the crusher on them. Oh, part of the crusher's full now, but yeah, going to use the garlic crusher to get that. I've also got my mixing bowl, so I'm going to put my lamb in there, mix up with some flour to coat it, lock in the taste, but also I'm going to use some seasoning. I've got some herbs. I've got, as you can see here, 2 green herbs and 2 orange herbs. So that should be a nice balanced flavour. I've got a mix of green and orange herbs. No idea what's specifically in them. There's piri piri and Italian and Moroccan and mixed, whatever that means. But I know 2 green, 2 orange, nice balanced flavour. Of course, I've got my block of pastry. I may actually just do this all in one video. My block of pastry, that's, well, 2 blocks of pastry that are just nicely, I may have some left over that I'll do, I don't know, jam tarts or something with. That's nicely defrosting. You can make your own pastry. I've never been good at it. Any time I've tried, I've always ended up with it not quite being enough. So I'm going to defrost these. That's what's going to be my pie filling. As I said, it's going to be a nice big pie. I've got my pie dish that's actually a cake tin. I just find it easier to get pie out of these. That's going to be my dish for it. And of course, not for a while yet, but I'm going to take the flour out of here, combine it with some butter in this. Actually, I think I will do all of these, and I can make this a 3-minute video just to make sure it doesn't stick to these. But that's not for a while, because first it's all going to go in the old cooker, the old slow cooker. And I've got two bags of lamb that are fully defrosted now. Each of those says that it serves 4 people. So I put these in a big pie, along with some nice chopped carrots, and that will be, I think, a nice meal. And I will serve that with some potato wedges, I think. So yeah, it will be a while before I get all that done, but those are my ingredients. So, got it nice simmering away in a low heat. Drain the fat off into this jar, so all the oil and stuff. I've got my slow cooker out. Set this onto high heat because it's about 11 now. Take this out at 5. That'll have been 6 hours on the high heat at the slow cooker. That should be certainly enough for this lamb. I'm afraid I've cut my carrot quite thick, but can't really be helped at this point. Now that's there. Turn the hob off completely. Lift this up in here. that in. I want to get all of this stuff out because there's a lot of flavour in what's left. There we go. Come on. All right, that's in there now. As I said, there's going to be a lot of clean-up to do. There's going to be a lot of clean-up. Let's grab a spoon. Stir this about, but okay. Try to get this a little bit more even. This is going to be a very, very carroty, very lamby mix. And that's, if you're wondering why I used a fair bit of garlic, or about half a bulb's worth or more of garlic, with all these carrots, it's going to absorb, and slow cookers do tend to dilute the taste of it, so you want to use a fair bit of the seasoning. It's also why I flour it to lock in a bit more of the taste. But okay, that should now be just ready to sit there and basically get its job done. That's plugged in, that's going. I've got this space where I'm going to roll out my pastry and make my pie later, but that will happen in about 6 hours. So until then, I'm just going to clean up.